Okay guys, this one might really piss you off, but Elden Ring's PvP is garbage and as it stands should not exist at all. Now, put your pitchforks down, flush your toilets, and shut your traps, and I'll tell you how this could spell doom for FromSoft. The PvP in FromSoft games used to mean something, and as such, it would actually build the world up more, both from a lore perspective and as a challenge to us, the players. For fuck's sake, Demon Souls, your invaders were demon-corrupted souls trying to invade you. If you died while invading, you lost a level as a consequence. Dark Souls games had their covenants built into the lore and gave you a reason to PvP by rewarding you with items and trophies. Even Bloodborne had its damn Hunter's Lodges that gave buffs to you while PvPing. What did Elden Ring have? Not a damn thing in comparison. You get to choose between two different fingers to shove up your bum. That only change the name over your head and do nothing else to help or hurt any other faction in the game. So where exactly is this coming from and why the anger? Why are you not angry? It's 2024 and even though Elden Ring has been out for 2 years and has already released its DLC, the PvP scene continues to be negligible to the gameplay, other than the flaming hot piss ants that invade you when you're chilling with your pals. Its impact on the game is much weaker than its great-great-grandfather and progenitor of the series, Demon Souls. And not only did you have the level loss thing that I mentioned earlier, but due to the old monk boss, PvP was at least expected on occasion, as an ingrained part of the game. Nothing too in-depth, but it's the DNA that FromSoft lovingly crafted and innovated from in future titles. Now, I've played through all the Dark Souls games and had a blast with them, but I am by no means an expert in the Covenant system. So I, like everyone's favorite pawn shop owner, have decided to bring in experts on each game to talk about how the Covenants affect the world building and the impact they have on their respective games. First up we have... Okay, well fine, I'll just look online for another creator to, borrow. Here's a suitable candidate.
Hello, Severlight Gaming. You spend your days playing horror games and placing them online for others to see. Today, you will play one of my horror games. Read this script in the next 4 minutes or forever be placed in a reaction-only channel with the likes of Sniper Wolf. Finish on time and you'll be returned to your channel unharmed.
What is this? That's it? Just read the script and I can go?
Read quickly. Your time starts now.
Okay. So there are 5 covenants in Dark Souls 1. Dark Wraith, Forest Hunter, Path of the Dragon, Blade of the Dark Moon, and Gravelord's Servant. Just so I can get back to my channel quickly, I'm going bare bones as hell with this, so here we go. Dark Wraiths are a secret society of sociopaths that get a weapon called the Dark Hand. When you use the power attack, it drains at max level 10 humanity for the person being hit by it. The thing is, you can't even join this covenant until you talk to Darkstalker Kav after a convoluted path that deals with the 4 kings and having the Artoria's ring. The lore is impacted massively because after choosing this path, Kingmaker Fromp will disappear from his location near the Firelink Shrine. Next up, we have this Cheshire-looking cat and his Forest Gang squad are the Forest Hunter Covenant. Talk to the cat, get the ring, stop being attacked by the ghost assholes in the forest. You can get the Ring of Fog from this, which helps with more PvP, but you also get these shiny rocks. Blue Titanite Chunk, 10%. White Titanite Chunk, 10%. Green Titanite Shard, 25%. Titanite Chunk, 10%. Large Titanite Shard, 25%. Titanite Shard, 10%. At the halfway point, we have the Scaly Boys of the Path of the Dragon. These guys are your honorable 1v1 PvP players, but hey, if you manage to get past the Hydra, you get cool dragon powers by praying to the everlasting dragon. With only 2 covenants left, we talk about the 5-0 of the world. The Blade of the Dark Moon will have you hunting down those who betray their covenants. You get a cool book that tells you who has sinned, along with a Great Faith Talisman and spell. But then again, why would you want to spend all your game days hunting down bad boys? Oh god. Finally, we have the covenant is the Bone Daddy Covenant itself, the Gravelord's Servant. Dark Souls. And this one is cool in a way unlike the others. You can literally curse the worlds of those you invade with black phantoms, which are basically stronger monsters. You join the Covenant after cosplaying as a vampire in a coffin to go talk to... Seriously? Bone Daddy Nito? I don't know. The only downside is you can't fight bosses while the Covenant gimmick item, the Eye of Death, is active. I'm done reading your stupid script now. Can I go?
Well, a promise is a promise. God, I really hate
changing my voice like that. But anyway, guys, so Even in the first Dark Souls, you can see how impactful the PvP was in the game and how well it helped build the world that it was part of. But I don't want to lose the momentum that we have with the experts. So without further ado, we have this Scottish ass and good friend of the channel, our own Mr. Fluorescent Flint. Get down here and tell these people about Dark Souls 2. He has a very short synopsis on what the hell.
Hey people, Flint here. To talk about the PvP covenants in Dark Souls 2 makes me feel like Deckard Cain. So stay a while and listen, my friends, for we will go on to an epic journey into an age undreamed of. Understandably so, we are playing an action role-playing game after all. So, to respect that nature, I too will don my most majestic role-playing voice in order to immerse you into each and every faction's narrative. Enjoy. The Brotherhood of Blood. The Bad Dread. The Despicable Invader. The Fiend. The real-life mini-boss you have to defeat in order to progress. Everything about this covenant reeks of blood for the blood god, scars for the skull throne. And brother, you will revel in its bloodthirsty glory. Your goal is to earn as many tokens of spite as you possibly can by crushing your enemies. See them drum before you and hear the lamentations of their son bros. Oh, truly, this is best in life. If you so wish, you may use your token of spite to summon invaders from other worlds for a while. Drive fear into those who hunt by becoming the apex predator. Simply carrying tokens of spite shows that you are not to be trifled with.
I can't ask for anything more. Many undead are obsessed with blood, but you're beyond the pale. You're absolutely despicable. Go and seek all the blood that you desire. The rest is up to you.
The Blue Sentinels are the good blue, the stalwart protectors of the realm. They're heroes of PvP, and oftentimes the last-second rescue in heated moments. They are the bane of sinners and wretches, casting their wrath upon them. They are ye noble knights of old, and carry tokens of fidelity as undeniable proof of aiding others who are in dire need. If you decide to pledge this oath,
you are no longer a mere vagabond. You are now a guardian, a knight of the blue.
When meeting the venerable Blue Sentinel Targray, you also gain access to the Duel Hall. Improve your skills by practicing hard. Show those deviants, those barbaric vagrants, the true might of justice. Show them your wrath. And for that, one must be prepared. Brave knight, be proud, for
we walk along an endless path. Along the way, we see glimpses of a higher plane. We challenge ourselves until we breathe our last breath.
All right, many thanks to Flint for
We are not done here yet. I said, stay a while and listen. Ping pong, the gray are bonging. You're like the bells in Dark Souls 1. Yes? Yes? They belong to Prince and Princess now. And should you wish to ring them, you'll get sliced into bits.
Me and my chums, we shall be miffed.
Should you wish to guard the bell, however, you may join the covenant of the Bell Keepers. Slide on this heel ring, and whenever the bell is in trouble, you'll be brought near. And once you are summoned, well, then let the fun begin! Chaotic PvP action on a tight arena, where you have dwarves, invaders, blue sentinel, sun bros, the host, and you and your grey mates too.
Slice them to shreds, whoever they are, wherever, whoever, be they near, be they far. Slice them to pieces for the princess.
All right, but surely now.
Don't call me Shirley! The covenant telling recommences. Humans are nothing but filth. Thou wish to prove them wrong. Thou wish to earn thine right to serve him. Cut off a tail of his own burrows conquered. Show him thou art worthy of his gaze.
Thou hast the eyes of one who perceiveth true beauty. Human, thou mayst serve. Take this ring. It was forged by a human who was once among us. The ring draws to thee those who would defile our burrow. Wear the ring whenever thou art near, and destroy those who would dare provoke our ire. I will grant unto thee all thou shouldst so desire. I prithee serve with a true rat's honour.
Once thine self wearest the ring, and thou hast faced the foes of thine burrow with honourable smite and retribution, making no difference between venerable sentinel, sinner, wretch, or bloodthirsty vagabond. After ridding the burrow of trespassers of any kind, thou art to return to thine sire, and eventually...
Thy deeds are known to me. Still, there is ever more work to be done. Humans are creatures of greed. The time came they broke their word and hunted us down. I had their word, the underworld was ours to rule, untouched as it is by the rays of the sun. The more humans coveted, the more blinded they became as to what truly mattered. And that is why I pity the fools called humans. My servant, human scent lingers upon thee yet. Rid thyself of it, if thou canst. My servant, 'twould seem some sunlight-poisoned creatures are worthy of great honour. Thou hast permitted me to dream. One day, rats and humans may yet live and die together in peace.
Sometimes we have to fight those in mighty PvP combat. for more than just a reason to gain treasure and might. Sometimes we just wish to defend our burrow.
Please tell me that was it. That wasn't it, was it?
Continuing on.
Those who partake in dragon communion will one day shed their humanity, their hunger for dragon, their yearning only worsens until the floodgates burst, unleashing eternal torment, the strength of a mighty dragon, magnificent but deadly.
Since before the first age of fire, even before the birth of Gwyn and his army of Sylvan Knights, the mighty dragons ruled the world. And even after the genocidal war against them, led by brave Sunlord Gwyn and the treacherous Scaleless Seath, the dragons and their legend continue to exist. So it is no surprise that the old remnants of the dragons continue to protect their eyrie by honorable duels.
Io sono la forma di drago di Dark Souls 1! Io sono la forma di drago di Dark Souls 2! Io sono...
Any visitor that does not show their bravery and might in these fair duels will be disposed of without a second thought. Should you wish to partake in this covenant, you too will learn that strength must be displayed boldly and meted out justly. So, as a token of your strength, find the petrified egg, duel against the dragon remnant there, and emerge victorious. Bring this egg to Magarold.
A petrified egg from the shrine. Fantastic. Might you give it to me? I'm fascinated by it. I'm begging you. Oh, very kind of you. This thing is amazing. Could it be a dragon egg? I feel invigorated just by holding it.
Wear the ring to fight with another bearer of the ring. The last man standing from this brutal duel will claim the dragon scale of the opponent. If you are victorious, all of your equipment will be fully repaired. So bring your best to beat the best in honorable and glorious duel and combat. Additionally, you may use the Dragon Eye to invade a world with a dragon scale to claim the scale from its master. If our human flesh is our greatest weakness, then those who seek a form that imitates the perfection of ancient dragons are true vanguards.
You do know this is my channel, right?
This is my studio now.
Come on.
You'll face invaders from other worlds at every turn. If you need help, why not proclaim faith in the Blue Sentinels? When you face danger, the Blue Sentinels will come to your aid. Protection is yours, if you wish. You need only accept their kind embrace.
Accept this offer and wear the ring. Fret not, child. There are worse things than invaders out there. For now, you will be saved by a venerable Blue Sentinel, the stalwart protectors of your kind. Now, there is no shame in accepting help. Sure, it is no Champion's Covenant level of glory, but you want to face your journey, not repeated death over and right?
People are weak, but the Blue Sentinels watch over us in their benevolence.
You take that like and you get out of here.
Well, maybe I will go, because I'm actually done this time. Thank you very much.
Okay, well, that man can talk for a long time. Anyway, with that being done, I'm actually even more angry than I was when I started the video. Look at how much impact the PvP had in even what many considered the worst of the Souls games. The depth of the characters and what they added to the story were massively influenced by every aspect given to them, including their PvP storylines. But enough about the black sheep of the family, let's introduce the final expert I have brought in. Hopefully he's a bit more concise than the last one. Wolf the Chosen Unkindled Tarnished. What do you think about Dark Souls 3 PvP, and how it impacted the game as a whole in contrast with what Elden Ring gave us?
What's up guys, it's Wolf. Dark Souls 3 has 8 different covenants in the base game, and one that was added with the release of the Ring City DLC. But before I get into the specific covenants in this game, I'll go over the basics of how PvP works. The item called the White Sign Soapstone allows you to lay down a sign on the ground that, if the player is embered, they can summon you in to assist in their world. This item can be bought by the Crazy Lady at the shrine for 500 souls. Players that are embered also have the risk of being invaded by other players. The invaders will have to first use one of the cracked red eye orbs or a red eye orb item. The last of the main PvP items is called the Red Sign Soapstone. If a player uses this item, they will place down a red sign that another embered player can see and interact with. If this happens, the player who has the sign will be summoned into the other player's world with the goal to kill them. Now that that's out of the way, the first of these covenants that I'll be covering is the one that all the faithful Sunbros are a part of. The Warriors of Sunlight Altar is found in Lothar Castle right before the Dragonslayer armor boss fight. This covenant is for all the DS1 players that accidentally hit Solaire and Anor Londo and had to kill him. The viewers probably aren't going to want to listen to me after that war crime, but hear me out. These guys are the ones that you want to summon when you're struggling with an area or a specific boss. Their summon sign will be orange instead of white, and they will do the Praise the Sun gesture every time they get summoned in. The next covenant is called the Way of the Blue. This covenant is obtained by talking to Emma in the High Wall of Lothric, and she'll give you the item need to be a part of it. How this covenant works is if you're being invaded, it will automatically summon members of the Blue Sentinels and or Blaze of the Darkmoon covenants in order to protect you from said invader. Players will not be summoned against members of the Watchdogs of Farron or Aldrich's Faithful. This means the Blaze of the Darkmoon and Blue Sentinels covenants basically behave the exact same. The only difference is that Darkmoon members are able to receive Proofs of Concord Keps, and the Blue Sentinels are not. That means there is no point in being a Blue Sentinel, so please stop ganking me. You're not getting anything out of it. Sorry about that. Anyways, the Watchdogs of Farron Covenant is next. You can find the Farron Great Wolf up the ladder to the right of the Keep Ruins bonfire. This will give you access to the Covenant. The Watchdogs' job is to defend Farron Keep. The member of the Watchdogs will just randomly be plucked out of their world into another's to eliminate them. I don't know how these guys are possibly sane when all their PvP fights are in a poison swamp that slows their movement. Then again, we are Souls players, and none of us are sane. Watchdogs will only get summoned if the player's world they are getting summoned into has the Crystal Sage or Abyss Watcher's boss fight still alive. Watchdogs cannot be harmed by AI enemies, but can fight other red invaders. Alright, one of the more lackluster covenants is the Aldrich Faithful. This covenant behaves similarly to the Watchdogs of Farron. They get randomly summoned into someone else's world to defend their area. This area for them is Anor Londo, and they are the reason that Anor Londo is so populated when it comes to PvP. The way to get this covenant is behind the illusory wall after the Drang enemies in Irithyll. You need to kill both of the dog, crocodile, and gaping dragon things in the basement to talk to Archdeacon McDonald and receive the covenant. The 7th covenant is called the Rosaria's Fingers. You can find the Rosaria in the 2nd level of Cathedral of the Deep in her chamber. This covenant is the typical smelly Redditor invader covenant. Their goal is to kill the host of the world they invaded. That's it. Doing so will give the invader a Pale Tongue item. This item is used to reallocate your stats or change your appearance. Also, if you kill a defender, which are the Blue Sentinels or Blades of the Darkmoon, you will receive a Forked Pale Tongue, which has the same worth as 2 regular Pale Tongues. Moundmaker's Covenant is my personal favorite one. The first time you see this covenant in action is when Hodrick invades you in the Undead Settlement. The way to unlock this covenant is to crawl into the cage on the back of the Hollow Manservant that's just wandering around in the Undead Settlement. This will transport you underneath the Great Woods Arena, where you'll once again find Hodrick. He will give you the covenant, and the way they work is if you are summoned through a summon sign, you will be able to help the host go through the area, or you can try and kill the host and the phantoms. This means the enemies will be hostile towards you though. You cannot, however, assist in killing the boss of the area. If you decide to invade using an orb, the enemies will not be hostile towards you, and you can try and kill any phantoms in that world. This includes other mound makers as well. I love these guys so much because they add so much chaos to the PvP. Finally, the last covenant, Spears of the Church, is the most interesting covenant in my opinion. You will require the Ring City DLC to get this covenant. To get it, you need to kill Dark Eater Madir, and when you're a part of the Spears, you will be summoned in as a replacement to the half-fight NPC boss fight. And whoever you guys are, I just want to talk. I swear, I just want to talk. When you are summoned in as Half-Light, you are granted the Divine Spear Fragment and Ritual Spear Fragment. These items can only be used in the boss fight. They summon a row of spears protruding from the ground that leaves a lingering hitbox. However, Covenant members will not be able to use any healing items like Estus or Divine Blessings in this boss fight. And that's it. Those are all the Covenants in Dark Souls 3. I have said the word Covenant so many times, I'm surprised my brain has not turned to mush. Actually, it probably has. Something I forgot to mention is the Hollow Arena. If you kill the Gravetender's Great Wolf and Champion's Gravetender, you will receive the Champion's Bones items. Burning these bones at the Shrine Bonfire will give you access to this PvP mode. It is basically the same as the Arena mode in Elden Ring. There are 4 different maps in this mode, all with their own personality. Irithyll, Lothric Castle, Archdragon Peak, and Kiln of the First Flame. You can enter the arena in duel mode or brawl mode. Duel mode is just a 1v1 between 2 different players without the ability to use any healing Estus. Brawl mode can be a 2v2 or a 3v3 or even a free-for-all. Winning in these modes can allow you to rank up through badges. All in all, many people consider this game to be the best when it comes to PvP. I can't really speak on that because I haven't played that much of Dark Souls 2 at all. Sorry, friend. But I do agree that this game's PvP is far superior to Elden Ring's. The Covenants add a new layer of chaos into the PvP and an actual reason to participate in it with the Covenant items. If you get the Covenant item, you can receive items that can be even used in PvE. They just add more variety in the PvP dynamic as well. And having different factions and rivalries between them adds a lore reason for the Covenants to exist in the first place. Overall, if Elden Ring had Covenants at all, it would be way better than its current state.
As you can see, Dark Souls not only infused its worlds with rich characters, but it also gave a reason for the PvP to exist. There is still a strong PvP scene in Dark Souls 3 due to the lore and world building that the game provided through its PvP. Well, that's it for our experts. I'll be taking up the role as such with our take on what I call the bridge between Souls games and Elden Ring. Even though there was a bit of a backslide with the PvP and lore in the game, it still had a reason to exist. Everyone's favorite Cthulhu-inspired, top hat cosplay, American magic used in game from Software, Bloodborne. Ah, Bloodborne, where you take an oath to a faction in a game to gain a rune that will affect you in certain ways. There are only 6 of these girthy runes, and of those, only 4 really have anything to do with PvP. The other 2 make you embrace your inner beast or Japanese porn star. The first of the PvP related factions we will talk about is the Executioners.
What good's your immortality now?
These guys absolutely hate the Vile Bloods and make it their mission in life to wipe these immortal hussies out. In order to join up with this faction, you'll have to talk with Alfred. Not that one, this pretty boy. Once you join, you are always hostile towards the Vile Bloods, but battling through the questline this shitstain offers you will reward you in many ways. The Pizza Cutter, the most insane weapon in Souls history, and the Radiance Rune, which gives you a 2% boost to your healing from all your blood vials. Well, speaking of those impure Vile Bloods, that is precisely who we will be joining in this next part of the breakdown. Quite the opposite of the Executioner, the Cainhurst Vile Bloods are an aristocratic group that tried to copy the power of the church using their own blood, and it's due to this corruption that the Executioners hate them. However, with all that being said, this is still my favorite hostile PvP style faction to be a part of due to those sweet rewards that it gifts upon its followers. The Vile Bloods can be joined by talking to the tall, thin cup of bloody water known as Annalise. For pledging your service to her cause, you get the best weapons in the Shikage and that goddamn Evelyn. Do I need to say more? The only downsides is that the corruption rune is a bit meh It allows you to regenerate at a rate of +1 until you get back up to 12.5% of your total health. Such a sad end to the best of the factions, in my opinion. Now, I know I just said that the Vile Bloods were my favorite of all the hostile PvP factions, but you know what? Hunters of Hunters does not count as a hostile faction, in my opinion at least, so calm down. I can't tell you how cool it is to hunt down fallen hunters who have given way to the blood and become more bestial. Aline, in her sleek crow feather set of gear, will talk to you in many different locations, but if you want the strongest dual blades, it's the Blades of Mercy. Like a drop of blood in the ocean, with a shark, Aline hunts down any beast touch opponents in the game, and you can too. With the Hunter of Hunters rune, you actively get a negative 30% chance of spawning hostile players. You know how good that feels to summon in a random player and not have to worry about if they will try to force you to embrace the sweet, sweet hold of death? Damn good, that's how good. This rune also provides a massive stamina recovery of 10%, which with how this game works, it's better than most of the period stones you're going to have to go hunt down to power up your weapons. Before we get into the League, I forgot to mention that this is the only game that has the option to literally turn off PvP with one simple action. All you have to do is find this PMS bell ringing Karen and put her down real quick like. No bells, no invaders. Now then, if you want to focus on some PvP and would like to be in a league of your own, may I suggest... Well shit man, it's the League. I mean, it's not a big reveal, I said it in the last paragraph. These guys are the helping PvP guys. They swoop in, spank some boss ass for you, and dip with their fancy new vermin, just to watch their number get larger on that leaderboard of theirs. You don't get much from this, just a rusty hat and a rune that gives you a 2% boost to your HP while you're helping others. But you know what? It's still more than Elden Ring gives you. Yes, I'm still pissed. Why wouldn't I be? I believe that Elden Ring was a masterpiece for so long, and then I went back to play the other titles in FromSoft's library. And I saw all the potential that we lost to the lack of care given to what used to be very great additions in the storytelling of the games we played in the PvP. I used to be one of those that think that the PvP related channels were crazy for caring about the assholes that would ruin your time with your friends, until I realized how much we lost from FromSoft not doing anything with its PvP and my favorite title in the franchise. Imagine, if you can, a game where being a recruitant means that you don't fight Rykard but for him. Maybe in the end you supplant him, leading to an ending where you become the Serpent Lord while taking the position of Elden Lord. Or better yet, a world where you become a Bloody Finger, and the end of the game is the Bloody Mother coming down to embrace you as you become Elden Lord again. New factions like the Knights of Lindell, or even a Highwayman faction, allowing you to take some of the runes from your victims upon their death. Alas, all we got was a giant pile of garbage, and with all the content out for the game, it's not like Miyazaki will be willing to fix the issues that many of us still have with what we got. And that is the reason that no matter how much I like the game, I will always lament what could have been. I'd like to thank all of you for watching. This has been one of my longest videos. Do me a favor, throw a like and subscribe so you can see what I'm bringing in the future. And a special thanks to my members. And remember, you could become a member also to get early access to my videos and a chance to make a video with me. Let's go ahead and give a special thanks to my current members. Still, the only Elden Lord we have is Noah. But the ranks of demigods have increased. Now we have Zeke, the Starfall, Aristotle's, Bats, Kid Doom 804, Cream of the Crop, Tetonator, Diaz Gaming, the real Johnny Boy. And the few of you at the Tarnished level, thank you also with X Skull Gaming, B Walker 8732, and Forrest and Flint.